Do you ever feel like you were born in the wrong era? Like your soul just doesn't match the noise and speed of the world around you? While others chase attention, you're more drawn to quiet moments and meaning. That's not random. According to Carl Jung, there's one powerful trait that reveals whether your soul is old or new, and it's not what most people think. This single pattern shows up in the way you think, feel, and connect with life. And once you recognize it, everything starts to make sense. If you've always felt a little different, you'll want to hear this. 1. The definition of an old soul versus a new soul. When we hear the term old soul, we often think of someone wise, quiet, and unusually thoughtful for their age. But on a deeper level, being an old soul means carrying a timeless awareness, a sense of having lived through emotional lessons that others are only beginning to face. In contrast, a new soul is more oriented toward external exploration. They're curious, driven by experiences, eager to form identity through action and achievement. Neither is better. They're simply at different phases of soul development. Carl Jung didn't use the terms old or new soul directly, but his theory of individuation aligns closely with this idea. Individuation is the process of becoming your true self by integrating unconscious parts of the psyche. Old souls tend to be further along this path. They prioritize inner growth over social conformity. New souls, still establishing a sense of ego identity, often look outward for meaning. Imagine two people facing a loss. An old soul might retreat into reflection, trying to understand the emotional lesson, while a new soul may look for distraction or connection. The difference isn't just age, it's how deeply you process life's challenges. That's the essence of soul age. 2. Carl Jung's collective unconscious and soul memory. Carl Jung believed that beneath our personal thoughts and memories lies a vast psychological layer shared by all humans, the collective unconscious. This isn't something we consciously access, but it subtly influences our instincts, dreams, and emotional patterns. It contains what Jung called archetypes, universal images and themes like the wise old man, the hero, the shadow, or the nurturing mother. These symbols aren't learned, they're inherited, like emotional DNA passed down from the souls who lived before us. Old souls, in Jungian terms, are more in tune with this layer. They may not know why, but they feel connected to emotions or insights that go beyond their personal experience. For instance, they might find themselves drawn to ancient philosophies, feel deep compassion for struggles they've never personally endured, or feel an unexplained sense of familiarity in solitude or spiritual settings. Jung would say this is the psyche tapping into ancestral memory. New souls, on the other hand, are still forming their relationship with these inner archetypes. Their lives revolve more around building a personal narrative, exploring new desires, boundaries, and social roles. Understanding the collective unconscious helps explain why some people seem to remember what they were never taught. It's not memory, it's soul resonance. 3. The one defining trait that reveals soul age. So, what's the one trait that quietly reveals whether you're an old soul or a new one? It's not intellect or talent, it's the depth of emotional introspection. Old souls naturally turn inward. They don't just feel emotions, they analyze them, sit with them, and search for meaning beneath the surface. This reflective nature sets them apart. They might ask themselves questions like, why did that moment affect me so deeply? Or, what is life trying to teach me through this pain? Unlike people who rush to distract themselves from discomfort, old souls pause and process. They journal after emotional events, reflect on conversations, and often feel a need to make sense of the invisible emotional threads that others ignore. This introspection isn't always easy. It can lead to overthinking or emotional heaviness, but it also leads to wisdom, compassion, and maturity far beyond their years. New souls tend to move through experiences more quickly, eager to explore, experiment, and define themselves. There's less focus on internal analysis and more on external interaction. Both are valid, but this one trait, how deeply you engage with your emotional world, offers a powerful clue. It's not about how much you've lived, but how much you've learned from what you've lived. 4. How old souls behave differently. In a modern world, old souls often feel like strangers in the fast-paced, hyper-connected modern world. While others chase status, likes, and trends, old souls tend to seek silence, purpose, and authentic connection. They're the ones who would rather have a meaningful one-on-one conversation than be at a loud party. Instead of being energized by crowds, they often feel drained by shallow interactions or constant stimulation. This doesn't mean they're antisocial. It just means they crave depth. An old soul might walk away from a stable career if it doesn't align with their inner values. They might feel more at home in nature, with a book, or doing creative work than in a high-pressure social environment. Their decisions are guided by intuition and conscience, not social validation. In today's world, where being constantly on is often celebrated, old souls stand out by how calmly they move through life. They listen more than they speak. They observe before reacting, and they're often more interested in understanding the why behind something than blindly following what's trending. This difference can feel isolating at times, but it's also a gift. Old souls bring balance to a world that often forgets to pause. Their presence reminds others to slow down and reconnect with what truly matters. 5. Why old souls often struggle with loneliness or misunderstanding. One of the quiet burdens of being an old soul is the feeling of being misunderstood. Because they see life through a deeper, more reflective lens, old souls often feel out of sync with others, especially in a world that moves fast and favors surface-level connections. They might crave honest conversations, emotional vulnerability, or moments of silence, only to find that most people avoid those things. This disconnect can lead to a profound sense of loneliness even when surrounded by others. Old souls also tend to carry a strong inner compass, which makes it hard for them to compromise on their values just to fit in. They may walk away from social groups, relationships, or jobs that don't resonate with their truth, leading to periods of solitude that, while necessary, can feel isolating. At times, they might question if there's something wrong with them simply because they don't relate to what excites or motivates others. But this loneliness often has a purpose. It pushes them inward, helping them refine their sense of self and cultivate inner peace. Over time, this solitude becomes strength. And once old souls find people who match their depth, the connections they form are rare, rich, and deeply fulfilling. 6th, a final self-reflection prompt. If you've ever wondered whether you're truly an old soul or simply more introspective than others, here's a simple but revealing question. Do you seek meaning more than you seek experience? At the core of this distinction lies your inner compass. Are you chasing moments for excitement or searching for truth in the quiet spaces between them? Old souls tend to ask questions that don't have easy answers. What does this pain teach me? Why do I feel connected to things that seem ancient or timeless? Why does superficial success feel hollow? These questions come from a place of soul memory, not just personal history. Reflect on how you respond to loneliness, failure, or change. Do you grow from it or avoid it? Your reaction reveals more than you think. Carl Jung emphasized the path of individuation, becoming the fullest version of yourself by integrating every part of who you are. Old souls naturally walk this path, often without realizing it. So if you've always felt a quiet wisdom inside, a knowing that can't be explained, honor it. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're simply walking a road that fewer people notice, but one that leads to something real and lasting. No matter your soul's age, your path is meaningful. Embrace who you are with honesty and compassion. It's your depth that makes you extraordinary. If this message spoke to you, share your thoughts below. Comment, "I honor the wisdom within me." And don't forget to subscribe to Veilith for more soul-guided insights.